models always look almost real. But this actually fooled me.
Hi, I'm Adil, and Kling 3.0 just dropped on Higgsfield, an AI video generator that completely changes the game. In this video, I will show you exactly how to use Kling 3.0 like a pro, write better prompts to get cinematic results, and how to get the most out of this model even if you're brand new to AI video tools. And I'll show you how you can use it completely unlimited right now. You can access Kling 3.0 on Higgsfield. And the best part, we currently have unlimited generations, so you don't have to worry about draining your credits while you're experimenting. You can also access Nano Banana Pro, Veo, and other top-tier models all in the same place. So what is Kling 3.0? It's a brand new video model that lets you generate full 15-second videos and uses a multi-shot workflow to create up to 6 scene cuts in a single generation. It's gotten a massive upgrade in how it understands camera movements, real-life physics, and human emotions. Or at least, that's what our friends at Kling are claiming. I've been testing it non-stop since I got early access, and we'll break it down by examples, but spoiler alert, I'm very impressed. Once you're on Higgsfield, go to the top navigation bar and select video. And from the models, pick Kling 3.0. Let's start with text-to-video generation. When you don't have a start keyframe, it's important to give the model as much information as possible. Think of it as describing the scene to your producer. The crucial things to remember are who is performing the action, where is it happening, what do we want them to do, and how is the camera behaving? Is it a close-up, a drone shot, or a pan? I'll leave a detailed guide on the prompts in the description. You don't have to include all of this, but again, the more details, the better. Now let's try something more dynamic. I want a military action in a trench, camera runs behind a soldier, an explosion nearby, the camera briefly loses orientation, then recovers. And I'm gonna turn on the brand new multi-shot feature. So what is it? It adds scene cuts in your videos. So for example, the first half of your video can be from a wide angle, and the second half can be a close-up or an over-the-shoulder shot. Wow, the scene cut had perfect timing with the explosion, and it really understood the camera briefly loses orientation part, which made the shot that much more realistic. Most AI models usually give you terrible textures when generating text-to-video, and I can't say that this is peak level yet, but it's getting pretty close. Okay, that was all fun, but now let's move on to image-to-video, since that's what you'll be using 95% of the time. It's how you get the most control over the results. I've generated all the images using Cinema Studio. I will leave a link to all of them in the description. Emotions. Kling 2.6 had a hard time with human emotions as they always looked plasticky and fake. Let's see how Kling 3.0 holds up. I have this image of a woman crying, and when it comes to image to video, you don't always have to go into too much details. If anything, I find that with Kling 3.0, less is better. So I'm just gonna go with strong emotions. That is just fantastic. The acting feels very natural, and the slight zoom in and pan to the right makes it all even more intense. From all the tests I've run so far, I noticed that Kling 3.0 is really good at understanding the scene and adding subtle details that you wouldn't even think of on your own. Here's the exact same prompt, but with multi-shot option on. The scene cut is flawless. All the sounds are really on point, and the face stayed consistent even from a different angle. The micro expressions add a close-up or sending chills down my spine. Character consistency. Oh, and speaking of consistency, Kling 3.0 added a new feature that lets you upload a reference photo to lock in your character's face. Here's an image of a person from behind. You can't see the face at all. We'll just upload her face as a reference here, and for the prompt, she turns around and starts walking towards the camera. And look at that. It perfectly inserted a face, and it doesn't morph, which is the most important thing. This used to be a big pain with Kling 2.6, because if the face wasn't visible in the start frame, you would hallucinate a completely different face, or morph the heck out of it. This is a game changer. Camera movement. Kling 2.6 is hands down the best model right now in terms of camera movements. But there's still some that it just can't handle. Let's see how Kling 3.0 holds up. We'll test a really complicated one, robotic arm. Camera performs a fast lateral pass left to right, then a brief crash push-in to the face, then a quick pullback and a fast pass back right to the left. Robotic arm, very snappy acceleration. Oh yeah, just look at that. It performed each movement we asked for perfectly. Nothing morphs in the process and the motion is very smooth. I also really like the sound effects that it added. This is a big step up from Kling 2.6. It's interesting how it also imitated a rolling shutter and kept a slight shake as well. Next, I really want to focus on zoom and detailization. Kling 2.6 had really good zoom in, but it always felt too smooth and robotic. Let's see how Kling 3.0 holds up. I have a wide shot image of a girl in the supermarket staring at a bunch of fried onion rings. Let's add details with a prompt. A girl grabs one fried onion. The handheld camera zooms in and stops on the lips just as she takes the bite. Add a brief slow motion to the bite itself. The idea is to land the push-in exactly on the bite. Look at that, just insanely realistic. Let's see, it nailed the camera movement, it stops exactly where we need it, and the slight shake makes it feel really natural. The sound, it captured every little detail. It has a nice ASMR feel to it, and the slow-mo with no morphing. At this point, I genuinely can't tell if this looks way too real or if I'm just really hungry. Fight. Now let's see how our model handles real-life physics. I'll upload this image of two people boxing and keep the prompt super simple as well. Just a dynamic fight. I'm really impressed. Both of them are moving very naturally. You can even see the sweat coming off the gloves upon contact. And most importantly, no morphing, like at all. With any other model, you would have to type a really long and complicated prompt. And you still wouldn't get anything near as good as this. VFX. Alright, now let's test something that can potentially save companies lots of money. VFX. For the start frame, we'll use this image of a dragon and prompt for the dragon roars, flaps its wings, and fires a massive fire breath towards the citizens below. I'm also gonna add handheld shaky camera to add that intense raw feeling. Although Kling 3.0 allows regenerations up to 15 seconds, I've noticed from all the tests I've run so far that you get the best results when generating up to 12 seconds. So I'm going to keep this one 12 seconds. Look at that. Does this also remind you of a scene from that famous TV show? Drop in the comments how much you think this would cost to recreate with VFX. Start and end frames. Another new functionality that Kling 3.0 brings in compared to Kling 2.6 is start and end frames. What is that? Well, you upload two images. One is where the video should begin, and one is where it should end. The AI fills in the rest. Let's test it out with these two completely unrelated images. You could type in a prompt describing the scene, but I'm just gonna leave it to Kling's imagination. There you go. This is so useful when you need transitions between two different shots. I'm sure we could have achieved an even smoother result with a prompt, but for minimal effort, this is great. Speech. And for the last one, let's test something that Kling 2.6 had a really hard time with: dialogues. And to make it even more interesting, we'll do multi-shot and prompt each scene separately. Here's our keyframe, and for the first scene, let's do medium shot of the young man and woman standing by the fence at night. The man is speaking earnestly, his face illuminated by the warm light from the apartment building. For the second scene, let's do a reverse angle, over the shoulder shot, focusing on the woman. She listens with a serious expression, then looks down and sighs before looking back up to respond. And for the last one, let's do an over the shoulder shot, focusing on the van. He listens as the woman responds.
I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
I know. I just need some time to process it.
Alright, yeah. Perfect lip sync across different scenes. And again, that slight handheld shake from the camera makes it feel so much more real. The lighting gives off independent movie production vibes. And the faces stay consistent from each angle. There's definitely huge improvement from Kling 2.6 in terms of speech and dialogues. When Kling 2.6 dropped just a few months ago, it quickly became the #1 model for most of us. But it was still slightly behind on things like deep human emotions and real-life physics. With 3.0, it finally closed that gap. The camera controls and sheer realism are now far superior to anything else on the market. And having native tools like multi-shot, character reference, and start and end frame controls completely changes the workflow. And this is just from a few days of testing. Now I'd like your perspective. What would you like me to explore next? If there's something you want me to test, compare, or break down, let me know in the comments. We'll build the next videos around what actually matters to you. And I'll pick 3 people with the best ideas and give them a free ultimate plan. And as always, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.